Hello, welcome back to another pen talk. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to revisit a subject I've done a few videos on, PENBBS pens. Some other reviewers have done some videos. I'm glad to see more people reviewing it. Hopefully you use those in conjunction to my reviews. I'm impressed with these pens. So 3 of these pens are new acquisitions within the past week or so, and this one I got a while ago. It's the 54 design. Milo wants some attention, and this is the one that's 31, and this one is pretty unique. We're going to go into detail on all these, but I got some nice sunlight coming in, so I thought that would really let the pens pop. Basically subtle design, but still quite interesting. And these have that swirl acrylic. So welcome to this type of review with different types of pens in it and different materials. And yes, I am still collecting PENBBS pens, so let's see why. So I have 2 309s and 1 308, and the second 309 and the 308 I just recently received. And this is a good way of looking at how this acrylic has a fair amount of variations in it from pen to pen. The first one I got, I particularly like the evenness and the distribution of the white swirls in amongst the crystal transparent resin. The second one I got has this big area here, big area here. So this is definitely from another batch, I would say. It's still amazing how the crystal is just so nice, the clear, transparent part. You know, the cap is very busy. The blind cap is busy. And then we go to the 308 version, and that has just a minor amount of white swirls in it, and there's a big white dot. So these are hand-poured resins, and I'm just amazed about all the variations that they do get and how nice everything looks. I didn't show the sections on the other ones, but the section is also made from the same material, which I really like, but obviously nothing matches up. So if you've ever looked at PENBBS on Etsy, there's a lot of photos that seem to be related to the manufacturing techniques, and they'll just show piles of barrels, piles of caps, finials, etc., and then they're just assembled. So, you know, for the price of the pen, you're not going to get something you might get from Edison or Franklin-Christoph, where the parts might be matched up and, matched together better. But, this is the nature of the beast, and I just enjoy them. And I enjoy these 3 variations, which are almost like 3 different pens. So in our continual exploration of PENBBS pens, this is the first 309-54 pen that I bought. They call it Smog. I had ink in here. It was not an ink that worked well in the pen, so took it all apart, flushed everything, and to me that's the only way to really clean a pen. Sad to say that, but it's true. If I'm going to keep the same ink in a pen, I'll just flush and keep going, but if I'm going to change inks, I do this. The other thing that we're going to explore is some of these piston fill 309s have a challenge with the piston. So this we're going to reassemble, silicone grease everything, and see how well the piston works. So one of the things I want to show is this piston knob will come off. The threads are counter what you would normally think. So you need to turn it counterclockwise, which would normally not work. And then when you reach a certain point in time, it's going to work the piston up and down. But if you keep turning it, that's when it can be removed. So everything's lubricated, greased up. Piston works smoothly up and down. So that's fully assembled. Here's a 309 I recently received a few days ago, and it's this wonderful acrylic with some interesting little swirls in it. I think Wacky Squirrel also got one of these. I don't know how much his swirl's different than mine, but each of these pens have their own unique look to them. So why is this pen all apart when I got a brand new pen? Because the piston doesn't move. I mean, it's stuck there. I'm putting on as much pressure. Obviously, if you turn it, this turns with the piston, and you know it's not attached to the piston. So it's one of the ways that you can turn the screw and not have to worry about where the positioning is of the piston. The other thing to notice with the some of this silver ring comes off, so you got to be careful when you disassemble it. And the blind cap just unscrews all the way. It takes a fair number of turns to extract it from the barrel. So I'm going to free up that piston. I'm going to see how much pressure it's going to take, and then the piston comes out the front end, and we'll grease it up, lubricate it, which I've read doesn't necessarily fix the problem, but I can't see that it would hurt. I actually used a hammer to pound out the piston. Not something I was happy about, but in all the situations where I've had a piston that was reluctant to move, once you finally get it moving, it slides fine. After I got the piston out, I lubricated it with silicone grease and I was going to put it back in, but I noticed there may have been some residue left inside the barrel, might be from the machining operation, or it could just have been this chatoyancy there, which is amazing. So I did a thorough clean of the inside with a brush and soap and water, and then rinsed it thoroughly and then dried it with a paper towel. So I'm kind of happy that I've done that, and now we're going to reassemble it, and hopefully the piston will run smoothly and not get stuck like it used to at the top. This chatoyancy just is amazing in here. That's a very, very nice subtle pattern that I'm very impressed with. Hopefully Wacky will get to enjoy and learn to love his 308, which he keeps calling a 266, but it's a 308. Yep, the 309 is fully assembled now, and I'm very happy with how the piston works. It works smoothly up and down, doesn't stick. So maybe my cleaning out of the inside might be the solution to a permanent fix for the sticky pistons that sometimes happen in the 309s. Again, the chatoyancy and the look of this acrylic is just excellent. I mean, even the finial at the top has some nice little details in it. And of course, uncapping it, you get that same look in the section. This section is not as striated or doesn't have as many veins in it. You can see some show up there. As with all PENBBS pens, it posts well. Feels good in the hand, nice size section. Really good. So hopefully that's been helpful for some of you that may have had an issue with sticky pistons. This one seems to be corrected, and like I said, I had to use a hammer to knock out that piston. It was stuck so hard. There was no way you could move it just from the turning knob, and now that moves smoothly. And when I've had sticky pistons before, they stayed sticky. But I'll leave this set a few days and give you an update to make certain that it still moves well. Well, it's been a few days since I initially cleaned it and lubricated it to make the piston run smoothly. So what I found is if it sets for 24 hours, it's still a little sticky. So what I found that I've done, and this is what I will do when I fill the pen with ink, is when I bring the piston up, I'm not going to keep it all the way at the top. I'm just going to keep it like a quarter turn down. And what I found is then when you turn the knob to bring the piston up, it's easier to break it free. But for some reason, when you're trying to move it down and it gets stuck, it becomes very difficult to move. So the fix wasn't an absolute fix. It certainly doesn't require a hammer to get it to move, but then who knows how many months it may have been sitting after manufacturing, and that really kind of glued it in place. But it's just amazing that once you turn it, it turns with absolutely no pressure whatsoever, but then once you let it set for a while, it gets sticky. But like I said, just that quarter turn down, and then when you need to move the piston again, you go up first before you go back down again. So it's the best we can do for now. And I would be remiss in this review if I wouldn't let Jason know, aka Wasky Squirrel, that this is not sticky. It feels like all the other turned acrylic PENBBS pens that I've ever used. So if yours is sticky, it's certainly an oddity. And considering the corrosion that happened in your basement on the other pen, I would question the environment that the pens are in, but that's just me. But hopefully you've maybe wash your pen off with some soap and water and it'll feel as good as this one does. When I received this 30931, the Aurora color piston fill PENBBS pen, it came with this kimono pouch. Again, some reviewers dish it, but I think it's a great single carry pen pouch. Is it convenient? Is it practical? No, but it looks nice, and you got a little abalone pearl shell type of closure here. You just wrap it up and tie it in place. I just think culturally it's a really nice addition, very well made, and I think it's great. And if you wanted to buy these separately, then it costs you a few dollars and they throw it in with the pen, so that's really nice. We've reached the end of this video. Thanks for sticking with me and watching. Hopefully you may have learned a little bit, saw something you haven't seen before, or if this is your first video you're watching me review PENBBS pens, if you want to see them write, I have many videos of them writing, so just scroll through my videos or do a search on PENBBS. Most of the reviews up there I've authored. So I just think these pens are unique, and maybe a point in time the PENBBS people will move on to other things, because they were only into inks, and then they got into pens, and they got into pens big time. The vac filler version is on its way for me. I bought 2 of them in Etsy. Etsy charges shipping, but it's only one price for the whole order, so if you order multiple things, put them in your cart when you execute that. And I also have I was able to snag one of the crab pen holders, so that was quite a nice feat. I tried to get 2, but they refunded the cost of the second one. I don't know which one I got. I think I got purple and green, but we'll see when it shows up. So we're at the end. No writing, but hopefully this video will encourage you to enjoy your pens more, explore the world of pens. It's a great world out there, great variety, infinite amount of choices almost. Well, technically not infinite. Neil would be very upset if I said that, but certainly a lot more than I can count. So that's it. So have a great day. Enjoy your life. Until the next video. Bye.